Hi guys, it's Mama Loves Mysteries and Tea, Sinister Saturdays, and I'm Laura. I know I told you guys I was going to bring you conspiracy theories, but I only have one. And it's kind of a mix of things. A little bit of a conspiracy theory, a little bit of UFO, a little bit of Men in Black. I kind of maybe steered off track a little bit with this one, but I swear you'll like it, I promise. This has actually been televised before, but I love it. It's one of my favorite stories out of Pennsylvania. It's one of Pennsylvania's biggest mysteries. I mean, how could it not be? It's the Kecksburg crash of Pennsylvania. And guys, this is fascinating. But it does, I'll be honest, I have a ton more questions. It opens so many doors, so many theories, so many witnesses. It's like a little mini Roswell. I understand why it's called that now, completely. But I digress. Let's get started, shall we? Because I really think you guys are going to enjoy this. This all started December 9th, 1965. And it didn't start in Kecksburg, but it definitely ended there. It was actually spotted over Canada, Michigan, Ohio. 6 states altogether claimed to have seen this orange streak across the sky. It was already being reported in the news, and once it hit Kecksburg, it was definitely being reported on the news because it was on a downward trajectory. It was going to crash. Now, there were theories of Meteor, a plane, some kind of satellite from the sky. It was something. They knew it. Everybody was wondering. Everybody was aware. And I'm sure, as we find out, the government wasn't far behind. They never are they? We see you. But, yeah. It was heading towards Kecksburg on a downward slope. Now, it was 4:45 in the afternoon in Kecksburg. There was kids still outside. It was the 60s. They still played out there all the time. But they were out there. And one boy named Billy, and I really want to say his last name, but I butchered it so many times, I'm just not going to. I'm going to tell his story. And trust me, if you're into looking up the Kecksburg, you will learn his name, and you'll understand why I could not pronounce it correctly. But Billy was outside playing when this orange streak went over his head. And he noticed something. It wasn't just heading straight down. It was turning. Like, kind of directing how it was going to crash. It wasn't just slamming into the ground like a meteor would. It had a path. And it was trying to get to that and land without completely busting itself up. Now, again, I definitely don't see a meteor doing that. That sounds like intelligent movement to me. It's doing something to prevent itself from, again, busting up into little pieces. Big question right there. What was that about? But Billy watched that happen as it crashed and definitely took note of it. And said the same statement for years. Now, of course, it did hit the ground, and it was felt. People said they felt a sonic boom. As it actually passed overhead, people thought they heard like a whizzing sound. It's hard to describe, so that's why I want to say thought. I wasn't there. I've heard a lot of descriptions of this sound, but that zzz sound was the closest thing that people said. So, this was a valuable thing happening. This was real. This was happening. People were seeing this. This kind of reminds me of the Arizona Lights or Roswell, definitely. But it was happening. And now, what was in the sky is now on the ground. And people at this point who could see the crash site were reporting a bluish-gray smoke coming up. It's a flame, but not red, not fire, but that color, that wisping effect that fire has. But the search was on to find the crash because the only ones who really knew about it were the people in the area. Around the crash, of course. And they were out. And the first ones to go out are local firemen. They were the first ones to go out. They got in groups and started looking for this crash site. And thank goodness they did, because one group, the group that happened to stumble across this crash site, had Jim Romanowski in it. Jim Romanowski noticed right away that it looked like an acorn shape. It was big. It wasn't as big as they had thought, but it was big. And more importantly, it had writing along the edge of it. Kind of like Egyptian writing, but not. And luckily for us, Jim had studied other languages, so he was well aware of other writing. And he didn't recognize anything on this object. But as they were observing it, and other people were trying to come in to look at it, two men, of course in black, came in and got them out of there. Quick. Areas closed off, and they weren't the only ones chased off that night by men in black. There was kids, a group of teenagers who went out and actually said they were threatened with guns. Who has the authority to do that? What is that important that you have to threaten someone's life over? But yeah, the men in black were reported all over that town, chasing people back away from this crash area. Why? I mean, it's obvious. We know what the men in black are now. We know what they symbolize. If they show up now, you know something bad's going down. And it's extraterrestrial or something from up there. So yeah, they should probably change colors like the men in blue or something. Take that in consideration, guys. But anyways, they were there chasing people away. The whole area was now on lockdown. Reporters were coming in, and there was this one country road. And they were all lining up on it. People, hundreds of people coming to line up and watch. People from close to the area were driving in because these reports were coming over the radio. People wanted to know, what was this thing that just went over the sky and crashed in Kecksburg? What is it? Now, they weren't going to find out. They were being chased away. Except from this one road, which was just still heavily guarded by police officers. Now, so many shows have covered this, like I said. Unsolved Mysteries did in 1990. That's how I found about it. It terrified me, made me realize that aliens could possibly be real. From, the Blue Book files, let's see, podcasts. It's all over the place. I was just trying to think of places where I had listened to information about. Yeah. All these people saw this. And all these shows have interviewed some of these witnesses. They all saw it. But what was reported by the government at one point was, we didn't see anything. You didn't see anything. That never happened. And then it became a Soviet Union satellite thing. But that's funny because that crash landed in Canada way earlier that day. Yeah. Conspiracy theory time. That's where that's sliding in there. Something happened here in Kecksburg. Again, witnesses, it can be recorded by the hundreds. But if you really, really want to get into this and learn some super interesting facts about Kecksburg and the witnesses, look up Stan Gordon. Stan Gordon's amazing. He was one of the people that actually drove in from another county over to see the Kecksburg crash site. And he's been investigating it ever since. A lot of the information and testaments and statements we get are actually from Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon. He's like Batman. I'm so sorry. Stan Gordon. I love Batman so much. I just rolled with the name. I apologize. That's so unprofessional. Okay. Stan Gordon has done an amazing amount of research. He really has. From Bigfoot to all kinds of crazy things that have happened in Pennsylvania. He's kind of like my idol a little bit now that I know who he is and I'm learning more. And he's done a lot of research into the Kecksburg crash. As for the fire department up there, guys, go up there, check it out. They actually have a replica in the parking lot, and they do a festival, and there's a UFO store. All the proceeds go to the fire department up there. So it's not like it's just floating around. It goes to a good cause. You need fire departments. Yeah, because they go in no matter what. If even it's an alien crash site, they're there. That's super important, guys. But seriously, they have a festival every year. Go check it out. They have a website. If you want, I will add the link down below. Go check it out. It doesn't put you no harm. You're just supporting a fire department. No harm in that. And who knows? Maybe you'll see something up there that no one else sees. I mean, you can go up to there. You can see the crash site. You can see broken trees. It's so crazy. Awesome. I think I'm going to actually, it's only 30 miles from here. I'm going to take the trip and go check it out myself. But that's it for now, guys. The Kecksburg crash is crazy. you're going to look up and see everything from it being the Nazi bell to a satellite to the alien to just space debris from who knows where. So, yeah, this goes so many ways, and I have so many questions. But look it up. Do your own research. This is fascinating. Take care. Watch your surroundings. That includes up in the sky. And I'll see you guys next Saturday. Have a great week. I love you all. Take care.